It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Boom! Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world heavyweight champion, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me as always. Getting ready to do this thing. I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Get your champagne wishes, caviar dreams, man. Brad, how you feel, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, BT. You know, we got the Sherry Martel Classic coming up this Sunday that I'm so excited for. I'm excited for Tuesday because we're going to see NXT on CW, the debut from Chicago, the All-State Arena. We got Reality Wrestling, Rise to Wrestling Royalty right after that. I mean, there's so much going on.
We got a lot going on, man. I'm definitely so looking forward to the Sherry Martel Classic. 12 of the best ladies out there on the indie scene trying to make it to that next level, and this could be that one thing, that one piece that we call it the rub. This could be that one thing that could catapult that one to the next level to where they could be looked at, eyes could be on them. So that's what I'm excited about more than anything. The ladies that's going to be a part of this thing, and not just the winner, the 12 that's going to be a part of this. Everybody's going to be highlighted more than anything. Everybody's going to get a time to shine, to go out there and show exactly what they're all about. And that's what the business is truly all about, opportunity. When opportunity knock, man, you better open the door. For me, all I was looking for was a shot. Somebody, just take a look at me, and I think you're going to like what you see. So that's what the Sherry Martel Classic is all about. 5 o'clock bell time, guys, going down this Sunday. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait.
Oh, it's going to be incredible. And then you got that CW debut right after that. NXT, CW. You got CM Punk in the mix, Ethan Page, Trick Williams, Roxanne Perez, Julia. I mean, there's a lot going on. You know what I mean? For that debut.
I'm excited. We're going to be in Chicago. I'm going to be getting in a night early just to, just feel the vibe of being in Chicago. All-State Arena, of course, I've had my time, my memories in All-State Arena. That arena is like stuck in my head, man. You want to park at, go in the building, go downstairs, go to the, the TV locker room, hang out, catering's all the way down the freaking hall. You got to go down and then you got to go up. So it's like, I used to love, at one point in time when the hoverboard came out, I said, I will never walk again. I remember having my hoverboard in that arena, going all over it, man. So the guys, man, the young guys getting ready to have what, man?
Well, no, I remember distinctly you yelling that quote. Now, I'm not telling the story you think I'm telling, but I remember we were sitting there. This was backstage, Night of Champions, Toyota Center, Houston. I'm sitting there with you. We're going to a meeting actually afterward. And so I'm standing next to you. You're on the hoverboard. And Triple H and Stephanie come up to say hey to you. And as Triple H is talking to you, you're doing like a spin, on the hoverboard as he's talking. And he goes, "What are you doing, Book?" You're like, "I'm never going to walk again."
I still got 3 brand new ones in the garage, man. They're still in the box. They haven't even opened yet, man. So I stepped off the hoverboard because I took a bump. I took a bump. No, this was another one though. I took another bump. I took one of the hoverboards. I hadn't got on it in quite some time, and I charged it, and then I got on it. And as soon as I got on it, boom, the battery went out. Boom, I took a bump on it. And I was like, "What the heck?" So I was kind of like shell shocked from getting on the hoverboard. because I didn't know if it was the battery, because they're lithium batteries, they're only going to last for so long.
That's right.
So I was thinking about that, and I was like, man, maybe because I hadn't been on it in a while, the battery's dead. It's not going to be able to recharge all the way up. So I kind of like got shell shocked from getting back on the hoverboard. But I gotta regroup, man. I gotta get back on the horse.
You got to get back on the horse, man. But I'm excited though for you to go to the Allstate Arena, and that's always the arena that all the boys talk about. Like Chicago has the best crowds for pro wrestling, is what I've always heard. They're the loudest and the most boisterous. So I'm sure you're going to enjoy that. And by the way, actually speaking of CW, CW 39 Saturday nights, Reality of Wrestling, 10 o'clock. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. That's where you're going to be able to see the Sherry Martel Classic, and they're doing a Hispanic Heritage Month celebration and special on CW, in which one of Reality of Wrestling's own is going to be highlighted, Gino Medina, and his connection to his father. He's a second-generation wrestler. El Sanguinario was his father, and they're actually going to get into that in the Hispanic Heritage Month special on CW ahead of Gino's return to Reality of Wrestling at My Rise to Wrestling Royalty. So a lot of wrestling content.
Yeah, Gino started at Reality Wrestling when he was 16 years old.
Yeah,
and I remember that. I remember that kid. Man, I remember that little bitty kid. Out there, trying to learn this craft, trying to learn the game. I remember at one show he slipped and fell off the ropes. It fell off the ring.
I remember
you remember that? I was like,
he was going for a springboard.
Yeah,
from the outside to the inside, and he just
I took a pop. But man, that's the growth of the young man to where he came from to where he is now, and I'm sure he's going to get that shot to actually go out there and perform on that major stage sometime here very, very soon. So I can't wait to get Gino back in the fold at Reality of Wrestling. We miss that kid, man. We miss him. But man, what are we talking about, David? What are we gonna talk about?
Well, there's several things that are going on. There's some stuff going on in AEW, of course. One of your friends showed up on the broadcast that I'm sure we're going to talk about. There's a documentary everyone's discussing that has the internet abuzz.
Everybody want to know my opinion on that. I mean, I've got so many people that say, man, you got to ask book this, you got to ask book that. And the thing is, I haven't.
About the Mr. McMahon documentary.
Mr. McMahon documentary. I haven't watched it yet. But I've heard that I was one of the highlights in the docuseries. So I'm just wondering what it was. I mean, anybody out there know what I said? Let me know. Because I may have did a sit down and was talking about Vince McMahon and didn't even know what I was talking about. I was just talking.
Yeah. I haven't gotten to you yet.
Yeah.
I'm 2 episodes in.
How many episodes is it?
There's 6.
Okay.
There's 6. I'm 2 episodes in. There's nothing really that I learned new, other than they did spend some time on the John Stossel, where what's his name? Dave Schultz.
David Schultz
slapped him. And then there was the other guy who I'm trying to remember his name. He was a talk show host, and Hogan choked him out, and he fell and hit his head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I can't think of his name.
Richard Belzer.
Richard Belzer.
Was it Belzer? Okay. Yeah. All right.
They did those. They talked a little bit more about those. And I guess I didn't realize how much litigation went into that. And I'll be honest with you. David Schultz hit the hell out of John Stossel. He hit that.
But the Richard Belzer thing was worse.
It's worse. Much worse.
Yeah.
Much worse. Yeah. And the thing is, they don't really discuss it that much, the Belzer one. And Belzer gets choked out. Here's the thing, too. And I want to ask you this, because I've seen maybe 3 instances of this. The Belzer one, the Stossel one, and the one with Vader in Kuwait, right?
Yeah,
where Vader snatches the interviewer.
Yeah. Was a major mistake. But go ahead.
Oh, bad idea. Really, you're on foreign soil. You should have thought that one through, Big Van. R.I.P.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you, if you were back in that time period, because this is all happening in the 80s before you broke into the business, except for the Vader one, which was the 90s. But the Stossel and the Belzer were in the 80s. Like, how would you react in those situations if you're doing a show out of good faith and somebody is questioning the validity of what you do, almost talking down about it? And to me, when Belzer says, "Well, put me in a chokehold," like, what is Hogan really supposed to do? I'm not saying he should have hurt him.
No. I think Hogan did the right thing. Did he do it a little bit too excessive?
Yeah, it seems like maybe he squeezed a little too hard.
I think you can put a guy in an arm bar and get your point across.
Right.
I really do. And you're not going to break his arm or anything like that. But I teach my students, just say, for instance, a wrist lock. I tell my students, I say, when I say, have you ever been arrested? And some say no, some say yeah. And the ones that's been arrested, they know what a real wrist lock feels like.
They felt that.
They know, because I demonstrated just like HPD, and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna feel a certain way in certain places, and it triggers your brain to actually do certain things. So
Right.
yeah, I think he could have got the point across a whole lot easier than actually putting the guy to sleep.
Yeah, I think it was excessive, but I also
The thing with Judge Stossel, it was very disrespectful the way Judge Stossel came up on
it was.
David Schultz, and it was kind of confrontational. And when you put yourself in a confrontational situation, something might happen. And I
Yeah.
think I don't blame David Schultz at all for what he did, because if a man came up to me and disrespected me, I don't know what I might do in that situation. I might do the same thing, I might do the same thing that David Schultz did, John Stossel. We got to take a break. We're going to take a break. Stick around, guys. You're inside the Hall of Fame, man. We'll be back in a minute. Can you dig it, sucker? And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So there's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
Let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this: chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Just talking about the Mr. McMahon docuseries. Brad checked it out. I haven't had a chance to check it out myself.
Only 2 episodes. I've only seen 2 episodes.
I haven't seen you haven't watched any of the, I don't know how interested you are in the Aaron Hernandez story.
I am interested in it. I have not started that series. I've been told I should watch that and the Menendez brothers one. I haven't seen that one either. There's so much on television. I don't know how people can keep up. Yeah. But I will say I haven't gotten to you in the documentary yet. But when I do, I'll let you know, and I'll give you a review of that. And so far,
I'm sure I'm gonna check it out. Normally, when I watch stuff like that, I like to go to the beach and just veg out and watch like 4 episodes at one time.
Yeah.
Back to back.
Yeah, we started it last night, and then I was like, it's time. I wanted to play a little Madden. You know what I mean? I wanted to relax a little bit. But I will say,
playing VO tennis, man, on my Switch.
Oh yeah,
man, I'm so freaking hooked on it, man. I mean, I wake up and go to sleep with that freaking Switch in my hand now.
By the way, there's an update on the Creed game for that Oculus. Remember the Creed boxing game?
Yeah.
There's like an update now. It's like doing Creed 2 storyline.
Yeah,
and then you're training. I'm just trailing you because that's a good little workout.
I got it, man, but it's pretty hard.
It is hard.
I mean, you can blow yourself up. And then you got to have the right surroundings. Mine is in the gym. I could end up punching, some steel or something and breaking something. So my thing is, I got to find the right spot, a padded room.
You know what I really want to do? What
that?
I want to do is bring the Oculus one day to Reality of Wrestling and make the ring the perimeter. And then there, well, you're really in a ring.
That's not bad. I mean, you can't hurt yourself like that.
That'd be fun, man.
Yeah.
I will say real quick on the last thing on the Vince doc is, again, once I've seen it all, we can maybe discuss it more in depth. And if you get a chance to watch it, I will say that going back to the Dave Schultz incident with John Stossel.
Yeah.
I do want to make clear, not that we're saying you should ever slap the taste out of an interviewer's mouth, but when you watch it, apparently the original story, according to the documentary Stossel pitched, was, hey, the New York Times did a story about Hulk Hogan being one of the most popular celebrities in the U.S. I want to come see how popular is Hulk Hogan really. That was the idea for the story. And then as he's interviewing Hogan, he asked Hogan, so do you guys use razor blades to cut your head? And Hogan was like, oh, brother, I don't know. That sounds kind of gory to me, kind of kayfabing him. And every wrestler Stossel went up to, he was asking them a similar question. And Tony Atlas, who's an early highlight in the documentary for a variety of reasons that I won't go into, he says that someone in the locker room was like, he said that Vince said, I wish somebody would take care of this guy. That's what he said alleges happened. Hogan said he never heard it, but that's what he says. And then Schultz was kind of like, all right. And then when he said, is what you do fake, that's when he bam. So it was a buildup.
Well, I mean, in the past, I heard David Schultz say that Vince told him to handle it. You know what I mean? Just, do it like you would do it, if you was in the street or whatever, you know what I mean? Take care of it, pretty much. And David Schultz, he wasn't a guy that was passive. He was a guy that was going to tell you exactly the way he felt. I've heard a lot of stories about that guy, and I've never really heard anything bad about him. He's just always been like one of those guys, stand-up dude that was willing to, whatever, the situation was, let's handle it. He was the perfect person for that job. As far as John Stossel, because he was going to get the job done, as we saw. So for me, I think was he put in a bad position? Yeah, I think he was put in a bad position because it ruined his career. After that, he was pretty much blackballed, from the business. He went to Japan. They made him do that same gimmick where he's slap a reporter, and next thing you know, he's getting all kind of bad press from it and whatnot. So I think out of everybody in that whole deal, he was the one that got the raw deal. Was David Schultz, man? He was a hell of a worker too. He was a hell of a heel. Take nothing away. This guy knew the business. Can't take nothing away from David Schultz, but definitely put in a bad position.
Yeah, I mean, not a winnable position too. But that's the thing. I don't understand. And I guess Stossel was just trying to get a story and sensationalize.
You gotta understand how a story like that, like big news. That was big news back then, for that kind of story to come out about professional wrestling. We hadn't come out back then as far as it being sports entertainment or anything like that. So everybody always wondered. And then the guy that was pretty much helping John Stossel, who showed him all the tricks of the trade, Eddie Mansfield. Definitely played a big role in that John Stossel story as well.
This is what I was going to ask you. There's legend that goes back to like Cowboy Bill Watts and in that era of promoter, to where if you were out and about and somebody tried to check you, it's like, oh, you're a wrestler, I could take you, at a bar or whatever, and you got into a bar fight, that was okay with Bill Watts. This is what I heard. It's okay if you get into a bar fight, but if you lose, you're fired.
You got to leave the territory.
You're done. We can't use you anymore.
They got to wrap you up.
So that's true.
That's what I've heard.
Okay.
I mean that's rumor to me, just like it is for you. Those one of those wrestling stories
right.
that you've heard for so many years. Yeah, I've heard that story many times.
And to me, it kind of makes sense, right? Like you can't have somebody in the crowd going, "Oh yeah, my buddy beat this guy up at a bar."
Yeah, I
You know
always,
what I mean?
I always used to say that as far as I don't want anyone to feel like they can get up off their sofa and beat me up.
Right.
If that happened, we got a problem. Um, I've never been out in the bar. I've never once throughout my whole wrestling career been in a bar and somebody say, "Oh, that goes, one of those fake wrestlers," or someone come up to me and go, "Hey, man, is wrestling fake?" I've never had that happen to me once,
Right.
and I think it's because of the way I've always carried myself. Um, when I walked to the ring, when I did my work in the ring, you could tell when someone know how to handle themselves, and I think that's got a whole lot to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? Schultz definitely, and he hit him so hard, he knocked him to the ground. Stossel got up and came for seconds, and then he got hit down again, and
Yeah,
then he
yeah.
decided to hightail it.
He ran
He should
too,
have
bro.
just sold it. He
He
didn't
got
want
up
to.
out of that. He got up out of that quick. And the story with Judge Dawson said that he said that he was having, ringing in the ear, whatnot. And
Yes,
the
permanent
attorney,
hearing loss.
what the attorney tell him? The attorney told him that he was suffering from something. I can't remember what it was, and it wasn't going to go away until he got paid. And then he said suddenly, once he got paid at $300,000 or whatever it was, it automatically just went away. You gotta love it, man. But no,
That's
man.
foul, man. That's
Hey,
foul.
man, that's just part of that's just part of the game. Man. That's just part of the game. It's serious, man. But once you
But
get your
like
money, fix everything, man.
nowadays, we've seen it. Remember, it was Grayson Waller. Somebody tried to call him out a little bit. Remember
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
morning show?
He went off on the guy just as you know what? Just he should have.
Just as he
Because
should. Yeah.
you don't want anyone to come on and try to just like when Mike Tyson went on, with that interviewer in Canada, and the guy started asking him about
About
stuff
his
that
criminal past.
had
Yeah.
nothing to do with the reason why he was there, which was promoting his one-man show. Got a chance to go and meet the mayor. Now you want to make that the issue, me meeting the mayor, not my one-man show. And I swear, man, it's one of the best interviews that I've ever seen in my life with Mike Tyson in that interviewer in Canada. I don't know what his name is, but I'm going to tell you right now, guys, if you ever get a chance, go and check it out. Look at it, watch it, analyze it, and you know exactly how to handle yourself in that situation. We got to take a break, man. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey everyone, it's Brad Gilmore from the Hall of Fame here with the one and only Booker T, the 5-time WCW champion, and we're excited to talk to you about something that's been a game changer for the both of us. That's HelloFresh.
That's right, Brad. HelloFresh makes home cooking easy, fun, and affordable with farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. You can skip those tiring trips to the grocery store and dive straight into cooking delicioso meals, man.
Absolutely, Book. HelloFresh offers over 50 recipes and a ton of market items to choose from every single week. You can say goodbye to meal planning woes and hello to convenience. I've been loving their quick and easy recipes. They're ready in 20 minutes or less, which means I can spend less time in the kitchen and more time enjoying that Texas summer sunshine.
And let me tell you, the fit and wholesome recipes are perfect for keeping you feeling great all summer long. They're balanced packed with fresh produce at under 650 calories per serving. Plus, HelloFresh kids-friendly recipes are picky eater proof. My kids love them.
And here's the best part, BT. If you go to HelloFresh.com/freebooker, that's HelloFresh.com/freebooker right now, you can get one free breakfast item for life, forever, the entire time you're alive. That is HelloFresh.com/freebooker.
America's #1 meal kit. Baby, trust me, you won't regret it. HelloFresh takes the hassle out of meal planning, shopping, and most of the prep. You just choose your meals, select a delivery date, and get cooking, man.
So what are you waiting for? Go to HelloFresh.com/freebooker. That's HelloFresh.com/freebooker for free breakfast for life. HelloFresh.com/freebooker.
Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame.
We were talking about some legendary interviews, and one of them you mentioned was the Mike Tyson one. I know we have a short show today. We only have 2 more segments, this one and one more after this.
About to wrap it up, guys. You got your super chats. You better do it. You better do it now. You better do it quick. All right.
Yeah. So we're going to talk one more thing on this. We'll talk MVP, and then we'll get to super chats. I remember we were at the old gym on Winkler for Reality of Wrestling, WXF gym. And I was sitting there. We were having a thing in their office, and you referenced this Mike Tyson interview. And I go, oh, I don't think I've ever seen that. And Book, your eyes light up and they get real big. You're like, oh, you got to see this, man. And like you pull it up on your phone. And I remember watching it and thinking, first of all, maybe the funniest thing I've ever seen. Second of all, maybe the worst interviewer I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And third, I've shared that with more people than I can count of just what a classic moment. So if anybody listening has never seen the Tyson clip, you've got to go type in Mike Tyson, Canada interview.
All you got to put in.
Just enjoy the moment.
Just enjoy it. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, man. Like I said, it shows you exactly how you handle somebody. It's like when I was at Dave and Buster's that one time, and I was sitting there and I was eating, Charmel and I, and this guy and this lady came in. They sat like literally like right next to us, and their food came before our food came, and they sit there and they ate their food, and then our food came, and they were actually getting ready to leave. And I literally was just cutting into my steak and taking my first bite. And the guy goes, "Hey man, you mind if I get a picture with you?" And I go, "Hey man, I'm sorry, man. I'm eating right now, man. Catch me after I finish eating." He goes, "Man, you don't have to be a butthole about it, And I was like, "What are you talking about, bro?" I say, and I got mad. I got so mad. And I said, "Man, bro, did I mess with you when you was eating?" And I didn't say that. I said something totally different. It's totally explicit. And I just totally just went off on it. And the thing is, you're human. You're human. Sometimes it's just when you got to go with people. You got to go to their level sometime and just let them know, bro, I'm still a man, and ain't nothing changed. So I think that's what it is more than anything.
Sometimes you just gotta know, like because you might know me or might know more about me doesn't mean that you can talk to me any kind of way you want to.
Or not like that. With the Mike Tyson interview, just because we're on live television.
Don't think I won't check you.
Well, because we're on live television, you're the one that's going to look like a fool if you don't do this right. I mean, the interviewer should have been thinking about that more than anything, that we are on live television and I can screw this up if I don't do it right. And for him, that's something that's going to live with him for the rest of his career, the way he handled Mike Tyson, one of the greatest fighters that ever lived.
And that's what 100%. That's how he's going to have to remember it. He's going to be remembered. If I ever see that guy out, I'm going to be like, you're the guy.
Exactly.
It's you. That's, oh my God. Hey, man. It's you. You know what?
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of seeing somebody and going, oh, wait a minute, I know that guy. What'd you think of old Montel Vontavious Porter, as he was formerly known, MVP, showing up on AEW?
Hey, man. I'm not going to hate on anybody going out there and making it work. MVP is a guy that you and I have said it both right here on this show. During the pandemic, he was one of the MVPs.
He really was. Lives up to the name, right?
I'm serious. He did some hell of a work during that time, as well as with Bobby Lashley in the Hurt Business. He did some really, really good work. He really did. So for me to have someone like MVP to be able to carry that mantle, because he does it and he does it well. Okay, for that reason and that reason only, like a Paul Heyman. We have very few guys who can step into that position and can actually go out there and make somebody look good, and they don't even have to get in the ring to actually do it. That's MVP. So give that guy his shine as far as being that guy to be able to go out there and get that done with these young guys. So for me, I'm glad to see him there. Have a soft landing in AEW. And every time I say something relatively good about AEW. Somebody say I'm trying to hate on AEW. Now I'm saying something good again right now. As far as I'm glad to see MVP land in AEW, and I hope the whole crew get a chance to be a part of that, because I think I really look here, man. I really believe that. I really think it's enough room on the ship for everybody. I really do. From the WWE side, from the AEW side, I think it's enough to go around for everyone. So for me, I'm glad to see MVP doing his thing, and as well as he come in right in the hot spot with Prince Nana and Swerve Strickland. You know, as well as, you know, is it going to be me or is it going to be you? It's a great look. Yeah.
Well, it is a great look, and it's cool that Envy is there, right? I mean, obviously, we're all big fans of MVP and want to see him succeed in whatever he's doing. But to me, also, you don't sign, and maybe you do, but you don't sign just Envy if Bobby and Shelton are out there too.
Well,
right. I mean, you got to see.
No. I think bringing in MVP by himself was the right thing to do. I think that's a good.
You don't
look.
think we're going to see the full Hurt business?
No, I think when you do see the rest of the crew, it's got to be a reason why.
Mm-hmm.
So bringing in MVP as, you know, the first part of it is almost like bringing in you know, like the NWO where they came in. They didn't all come in at one time. You know, they kind of like filtered in, and then maybe that's the idea. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the idea. So I don't know, but I'm just glad to see it happen, because I'm not going to sit here and lie, sugarcoat it, or anything like that. I didn't think Tony Khan, you know, I'm not going to say I didn't think he was going to bring in MVP or Bobby Lashley or anything like that. I just know Tony Khan's, I wouldn't say I know his type or anything like that, but seems like the guys that he brings in to AEW is guys that kind of like he grew up with, because he's still a pretty much relatively young guy. It seems like Tony Khan has been glued to the indie scene forever, because a lot of these guys, now, and I'm not just saying that to be negative or anything like that. It seems like a lot of the guys that come into AEW, a lot of them are from the indie scene, and a lot of them I don't even know.
Right.
And that's not a bad thing or anything like that. That's just telling me that this guy is much more well-versed at what's going on out there on the indie scene and who's out there opposed to me.
Right.
That's the only thing I'm saying. And I just think guys like MVP, guys like Bobby Lashley, those guys been around forever. You know what I mean? So they aren't the guys that he's looking to, you know, gravitate to. That's just me. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong on that. But to see him actually pull the trigger and bring in MVP to do some work and get some business done, hey, that's the way you're supposed to be thinking.
Yeah, more power to him, right? I mean, going out there and getting a big name. And like, here's the thing. We talked about it last week. It's still not the highest of high numbers in the world, but they went over 700,000. And they were against a Caitlin Clark game. And I know Caitlin Clark draws an audience for the WNBA. So
come on, Brad. Come on now. I don't think the people that's watching Caitlin Clark is watching AEW. Okay, come on.
I'm just saying they were going up against the Heat.
Come on.
What are they?
Brad, come on. Let's be real. Come on, Come on, man. Don't do that. Please. All right. Don't do that. All right. I'm just saying. Just say they got 702,000. That's all you got to say.
What? I mean, they were going up against Caitlin Clark. What are you talking about? What?
All right.
Look, no. Look, but I'm saying, look, the only reason I brought it up is because it had like a historic viewership. First round playoff action between the Fever and the Suns. It was 3.5 million viewers, 3.4 million, something like that.
Come on, Brad. Come on, man. Well, who were they going up against last week?
You know, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. That's why that argument makes no sense.
No, I'm saying they were up even though it was a competitive night. That's all I'm saying.
No, what I'm saying is they were
and
down.
the Vince stock dropped last night too.
Yeah, okay. All right. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, I feel you.
Look,
You're
I'm
a
just trying to get a
journalist.
little props.
I feel you're a journalist. You want to try to make everybody happy. You know what I mean? You want to try to.
I don't know if that's what journalism does.
Yeah.
I don't think it makes anybody happy.
I get it. We got to take a break, man. But what do you think about P. Diddy?
Oh man, you see what his lawyer said? Americans like to buy in bulk.
We got to take a break and go straight to the Blue Chew ad on that. We'll be back in a minute. Can you dig it, sucker? And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So it's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
You know, let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, you know, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man.
Look at there's Rover.
Rover's all over me right now. In the break here. Talking about that boy Diddy, man, before we take super chats. What do you think? You know what, man? It's so crazy. Cat Williams said this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Cat Williams said it was a whole lot gonna be going down in 2024. Ain't nobody gonna be able to run away from it. You see, in New York City, the mayor got indicted, right?
He got indicted, yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, man. But the thing with Diddy, it's so crazy that you hear the stories now, and it's like so many people have like known about a lot of this stuff going on for so many years, and now it finally catch up with a lot of these guys, and I'm sure a lot of these guys did things that they never thought would ever come out, as well as, you know, seems like they probably was thinking, well, there's a statute of limitation on everything, you know what I mean, other than murder. And now they've changed these laws, and now this kind of stuff, you know, can come back to haunt you. Yeah. I was listening to Russell Simmons talk, and he's in exile in Bali, okay, and and I was listening to him talk, and the thing is, it was very, very interesting because he was talking about how many women that he's been with. Okay, he was talking about, you know, he's done several, twosome, threesome, foursome, so, you know, stuff like that on a regular, and the way someone go into that, and the way somebody interpret it, the way they come out of it, it could be two totally different things, and they can see it two totally different ways. And I say, I get that, but that's just trying to cover your butt at the same time, as far as, you know, you might have did some stuff that you shouldn't have been doing. But I tell you, man, for this stuff when you put yourself in that situation, I always say you put yourself in a situation, something can happen. 9 times out of 10, it does. But to have built a enterprise for literally overnight, they could take it all away from you.
Go on.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and then, but in a lot of ways, you have no one to blame but, yourself.
No,
Um,
no one to blame. Just like R.
when you
Kelly, just like R.
just
Kelly, same
just
thing.
like R. Kelly.
Yeah.
I think I told you this, but I there's somebody I work with, and they're younger. They're around a little bit younger than Roxanne, and but born in like '04. And I'm like, when you try to explain like guys like how big R. Kelly was, or how big Diddy was, or how big and this in a political statement, but how universally loved Donald Trump was at one time. And then now it's just all so different. It's hard for this person. Oh, I was talking to this person, and she's like, I don't see it. I don't understand how all these people were so big. I'm like, you had to been there, but it's hard to see there's so many people who have struggled from the actions of Diddy. We all saw the Cassie tape. I know Don Richard has a lawsuit against him and things of that nature. It's unfortunate, all the people that were victimized allegedly. Obviously, we always have to say allegedly. Because everyone has their day in court, just like you mentioned, the mayor of New York is indicted. We'll see what, everyone is, what do we say, is assumed innocent until proven guilty. But the fact is, I just want to say this, 'cause this is what I wanted to say. I got to say this. The lawyer's defense because there's been a lot made of the baby oil and all that. And the lawyer's defense was Americans like to buy in bulk. That's literally what he said. I said, what? My man, it's not a good defense.
He tried to get him convicted. He's trying to keep him locked up, saying stuff like that. It's like,
people like to buy in bulk. What do you mean?
What are you thinking, bro? We don't
1,000 gallons or whatever it was.
Oh man, but
Crazy.
it's crazy, man. It's crazy. This, like I say, it's always that road you go up. They always say you got to come down and you got to see a lot of those same people, man. And you better hope you've done the right thing. And I swear, man, it's amazing. Diddy, he seemed like a guy that was kind of like soft to me. He didn't seem like a hardcore guy at all. No, I mean, I'm just saying from the outside looking in. But you heard about the parties. You've heard about the Diddy parties for so many years, and so many people when you just say the Diddy parties, they almost, it's something that comes over them, like they've seen something at the Diddy party that they really don't want to talk about. You know what I mean? But I tell you, he's in a situation now that it's going to be hard to find his way out of it, bro. It's going to be really, all the money he got, he was willing to put up $500 million. They say, no, we're going to keep your ass locked up. That just goes to show, you can have all the money in the world, and in certain situations, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, just unfortunate for all victims of this alleged abuse, I guess is what you would call it, and it's just unfortunate. But you know what, BT, we got some super chats to get to.
Let's do it
before we roll up out of here today. And you know what, the super chats, they came in bulk. We have we have several of them we're gonna get to.
Let's do it.
This right now. Here's our first one.
Super chat.
Big Breezo. Every time Uncle Book puts someone in a headlock, it looks like it hurts like hell, man.
Hey, bro, I'm always taught the right way. That's all. I was just taught the right way. Sometimes you just got to be snug. Sometimes you just got to do it too. For me, my trainer taught me sometimes. I mean, he said, if they don't sell, you make them sell. I swear to God, that's what Ivan Busky told all the guys back in the day. If the guy don't sell, you make him sell. So I do remember that. Yeah, seriously.
I like that. I can get by that. But well, the thing is, hell, man, like this is a business. You got to work with me, brother.
It's not ballet. It's not ballet.
You gotta work with me. There's so many things that I want to say about that. But you know what? Look, if you want to know the secrets, you go to realitywrestling.com. You sign up. Mike Woodson says, Book, how can you explain what Jey Uso is feeling finally winning a single title after years of being in a tag team with a brother like you, Stevie Ray? Yeah, big ups to Jey Uso, the new Intercontinental Champion, beating Braun Breaker on Monday Night Raw to get that title.
It's a bittersweet, man. I'm sure for Jey. I'm sure it's bittersweet because he's not there doing it with his brother. His brother, right now, is kind of like on the sidelines. He's literally got the rocket put on him and literally like boom, just went straight to the moon. This yeet thing is like over like Rover. I mean, I'm serious. So I'm proud of him, man. I'm really so proud of him because he stayed the course. He's done the work, and now he has been rewarded for it, being the guy to represent the company carrying that championship. Big ups to Mike. Big ups to him. Yeah.
Big ups to the one and only.
Just a reality wrestling just last year. And
at the new one too, at our new facility.
Yeah. So right. I'm happy to see him. I'm happy to see him in that moment right there. Seriously.
Yeah. Big ups to Jey Uso. Next one comes from John JID 999. Booker, you were dressed to the nines for the Vince doc. So we got to see it.
I'm dressed like that all the time. I mean, it wasn't just. It probably wasn't even for the documentary. They probably just pulled me to the side and say, "Hey, Book, we need to get some quotes from you." But no, man, that's how my mama always said, man. You know, I mean, don't cost you a whole lot to look good when you walk out the house. You know, even though that suit cost me a little grip. But now, man, that's what it's all about. As far as being in the wrestling business, I've been like that since day one. I remember when I first got in, I used to go to this little old place in Gulfgate Mall. It used to be called Oak Tree. And it was a nice little spot where I used to go get all my gear from. And you could get the jacket, and the pants and the shirt for like $89, and I'm saying, I'm serious, man. I had, about 8 of them suits, man. And I sent them to the cleaners, man. They all looked good. They was all fresh. They was all fly. And I looked business at the same time. And sometimes you got to fake it till you make it, man.
You do.
That's the way I looked at it.
You do, man. Yeah. And you know what? Like you said, like
Oak Tree.
I love when people are like, "Oh man, I've never seen you in anything outside of a suit." I'm like, "Yeah, that's by design." Isaiah Nigel says, "Moving to Texas and chasing my dream at Reality Wrestling next month. Any advice you can give me as far as cardio out of the ring and being ready? Stay away from Papa Doe."
Yeah. No, just come in and trust the process. That's what I can say more than anything.
Thanks.
Trust the process. Because a lot of times, you get in and you just want to start diving off the top rope. And the way I always explain is you got to crawl before you walk before you run before you start diving off the top rope. So just trust the process, and we'll try to get you there.
Just trust the process. It's not that hard. You know what I mean? And listen, and don't think you know everything, and try to apply what you hear.
There it is.
Take notes. Bring a notebook. Actually, Isaiah, bring a notebook. Bring a notebook and take notes.
Yeah.
Male Man-Child Jones. Wesley NXT title run soon. Loving his heel work.
What title? What title are you gonna get? He ain't getting no Femish title. That ain't gonna happen.
So he's got to have to go with NXT title.
I mean, right
Ethan
now,
Page. You got to take Ethan Page out.
Ethan Page. Right now, they vying for that right now. I mean, right now, Wesley is on the outside looking in, bro, and it's raining. And it's raining real hard. So he better just get an umbrella and wait till the storm blows over. That's the advice I can give Wesley.
And real quick, we have one more super chat or two more super chats before we get out of here, but we do want to send our best regards to everybody in the Florida area as that hurricane has gone to a Category 4. Book, I know you travel to Florida all the time. I got a lot of close friends in Florida. We hope that everybody's okay down there, especially in the Orlando area, but all over the state of Florida. Callie Toenail says it's finally out there, y'all. I've said it before for years. HBK and DX started the Attitude Era, not Steve Austin. Now everyone can give the correct props where due.
I agree with that. No, I agree with that.
The Attitude, yes. If you look at the transition period from the New Generation era, I'm talking in WWF, into the Attitude Era. Yes, HBK, DX, Brett was even a part of that. Steve Austin started to bubble at the right time. Rock and Nation of Domination. There was a lot of things that kind of fell at the same time. But yeah, I think you could attribute early Attitude to HBK. Well,
I think DX was the combat to the NWO.
Right.
And I think that's what kicked it off. I think the music, the edginess, the way those guys really put that thing together, and everybody had a different flavor, even Road Dogg, Jesse James, you know. Oh, man, they had everything going on at that time. It was a hell of a group, and I think those guys were the pillars of the Attitude Era.
Da, 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 da. Oh, you didn't know? I used to love that.
Everything, man, it seemed like it was just perfect with that group. I give those guys big props. That's why they're still selling merch right now. What
the X was awesome, man.
The crotch shot, all of that stuff. Oh man, it was great. It's great TV.
All right, last one of the day. Cali Toenail says Xavier Woods seems to be getting on the right track, taking things more serious. If he drops that New Day stuff and turns on Kofi, it might be the best thing.
You know, man, I think the New Day had a hell of a run. You know,
yeah.
But you can't run with something like that forever, especially after Big E fell out, and they tried to keep it going, and they kept it going as long as they possibly could. I think they probably even won a couple of titles after Big E, right?
Yeah, I believe they did.
So
tag titles as well.
Yeah, give those guys big props for what they pulled off with the New Day, because the New Day wasn't gonna, was touted not to be around very, very long. I'm serious. The way it started out was definitely not something that we were thinking going to be lasting at all. And those guys pulled it together. They figured it out, and they went out there and entertained at the highest level and became, one of WWE's greatest. A lot of people say the greatest WWE tag team of all time. So give those guys props for what they did. But yeah.
Hey man, well, you know what? Shout out to the New Day of a book. That's all we got for him this week.
I hope they do something. Turn on somebody. Do something. Do something. But nah, man, we got to get up out of here, man. I want to thank Brad for the heavy lifting, man. Thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. All you super chatters, man, we appreciate you guys, man, because inside the Hall of Fame, it's all about the people. Oh, yes, man. As always, man, until next time, peace. We love you. And we out.